The Shape Builder tool is like having the most commonly used Pathfinder operations inside of a tool. It makes these operations available with the click of a button. Let's take a look at how this works. I'm beginning this video with the shapebuilder.ai file already open on my computer. And I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on this first icon that you see here. And I'm going to click on this. Now it's grouped by default, but if it wasn't, I would just marquee it so that they're all selected. And I'm going to go ahead and grab the Shape Builder tool over here in my Tools panel. Now, you're going to notice as you hover over the selected object, you'll notice that it doesn't do that with a non-selected object, but with a selected object, you can see that it's showing you all of the primitive components of the selected object. Now I'm going to zoom in a little bit further to make it easier for me to use this tool. And the thing that you want to remember is that by default, when you use this, it's going to fill it with whatever your default fill color is right now. So I'm going to go ahead and change my fill color to this green. That way, anything that I do here is going to fill it with that color. So I'm going to go ahead and click and drag, and you can see that it merged those shapes together. So I'm just going to continue clicking and dragging to merge all these pieces together. Now, some of these pieces are fairly small, so we may have to go back and merge them later on. But you can see by just clicking and dragging across these, it's merging all of these components together. So I'm just dragging, and by default, it's doing the unite function. So it's just merging them together, the same as if I used the Pathfinder operation in the Pathfinder panel. So this looks pretty good. Got one more piece there. And you can see we merged all those components together. Now I'm going to move over here to the palm tree. I'm going to just Command or Control click to select it. And I'm going to do the same thing. Just kind of merge these pieces together. And you can see with a couple of clicks, we have everything finished. We'll just finish this off here. There we go. Now, the last thing I'm going to do is I'm basically have some shapes over here that I want to use to create this shape. And I'm going to show you how we would approach that. So I'm going to Command or Control drag across these to select all these components. And again, you can see that as you hover over them, they're all highlighted. Now, in this case, I don't want to merge these together. I want to do the minus front. So if I hold down the Option key on Mac or the Alt key on Windows, I can just click, and it makes that disappear. Now, I'm also going to make sure over here, I'm going to change my current fill color to the blue color. And then what I'm going to do is Option click. You can Option click and drag. You can see that we've removed those components. Then I'm just going to drag to merge those pieces together, and then Option or Alt click, Option or Alt click, and I've gotten pretty close to where I need to be. Now I'm going to zoom in on this. I'm going to take this a couple of steps further. What I'm going to do is draw a rectangle across here, and then I'm going to make sure that I select these components, and what we're going to do is using the Shape Builder, we're just going to Alt or Option click to chop off the top of those pieces. Now, using the Line Segment tool, I'm just going to draw a small line here. In the Stroke panel, I'm going to make this 5 points wide, and I'm going to apply a round cap to that. Now, we need to, if I position this over here, just have to readjust this. I'm going to zoom in so I can get a better view of this. And if I select both of these objects with the Shape Builder tool, you'll notice that I can click and drag across these, but it's not going to actually merge it because it's a line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this object, and I'm going to go to Object and choose Expand, and we'll expand the fill and stroke color. And now if you wanted to, you could reposition this. I want to get this lined up here. And you may need to reduce the width a little bit. And that doesn't look too bad. So I'm going to make a copy of that for the other side. There we go. Then I'll select all of these, and using my Shape Builder, I'm just going to merge these components together. And you can see it filled it with the black color, but we can change that color later on. And then what we can do is draw 2 more of these line segments. These need to be 4 points with a round cap. And I'll go ahead and expand the appearance of these as well. I'm going to position one right about here, and we'll position another one maybe right about there. Select them all, and using the shape builder, I'm just going to option click to punch these out of that background shape. And then as a finishing touch, again, I'm going to draw a square. I'm going to rotate it at a 45-degree angle and go to Effect, Distort and Transform, Pucker and Bloat. And I'm going to basically pucker this shape, and then I'm going to make this a bit smaller, and we're going to make that work here. I'm just going to position that on the center here, and we'll just nudge it down a little bit more. That looks pretty good. And then if we select this, we can use the Shape Builder tool, although what we need to do first is expand this. So we'll go to Object and choose Expand Appearance, and now we can use our Shape Builder, and I can just Alt or Option drag to remove that area. And it looks like I didn't have it quite in there enough, so I might have to fine-tune that. I'll just do an undo, and let's just pull this up a little bit. And then what I'll do is select these and just Alt or Option click to punch that out. So we'll zoom back out of there, and I'll apply the appropriate color to our whale tail here. And you can see that by using the Shape Builder, we basically drew this object from scratch. And we really achieved pretty much the same result. We might have to tweak the center there, but once again, you have the creative freedom to make it look however you want. As you can see, for basic Pathfinder operations, the Shape Builder tool is second to none. I think you'll agree that this is one powerful tool that's worth its weight in gold.